It's a little bit of CUDA update. We've got trunk still needs new carpet and cleaned up, but everything, all the garbage and everything's been pulled out of it. Not even gonna bother closing that right now. I guess I could. Don't need in there right at the moment. Got the exhaust tips kind of permanently, temporarily put on. They're just basically put down with some screw tip or some screws on it for right now. Still trying to decide if that's a permanent situation. We got the interior kind of sort of buttoned it up. Got the shifter mounted. We wrapped that centerpiece with some vinyl, and so it matches the little boot that comes off. I painted it to match the little console button shifter things, and it just didn't match exactly the same. So when they're right next to it, it did not look good. So that's got to be changed. Got the back seat and everything back in. Got most wiring organized. Still need to lay down, pull some wiring down, and do some more cleaning under the dash, but it's fired up and runnable. Engine bay is engine bay. It has everything lined up that way. Been able to fire it up and move it back and forth in the shop as far as just to the door and back, but it has not gone outside. So here in a few moments, I'm going to fire up, pull it outside, and drive it a few blocks. I actually have a unique opportunity that one of my neighbors, older retired gentleman, that spent most of his life working in service shops and dealerships, doing front-end work and mechanic work and all that kind of fun stuff. For his retirement, he built a shop similar to this shop outside his house, and he put an alignment rack out there, and for a little side money, he does alignments, and he is true old school, does everything very, very correct. And it's just good mechanics and good guys that have just turned wrenches their whole life, or a dying breed. So that's one of the reasons this front end is completely loose. All the set nuts and even everything is just barely on there to keep the wheels from falling off. Normally you'd get it pretty close, get everything pretty tight so it's kind of drivable, so you can drive it around, test stuff, and then get it to an alignment shop, get it fixed. I need to get this like 3 blocks. So I'm going to idle around the block. We're going to get it up and take everything back off, take everything and tension everything, because being this front end is completely new, the uppers, the lowers, there's so much adjustment to this front end that you could go almost any direction with it. So I'm going to have him help me dial it in. We'll spend some time getting that punched in. Once that's dialed in and tight, I can actually start test driving this on the road, seeing if there's any problems or little things I need to work out. But it's very, very close to being roadworthy and checking things and testing things. So let's fire it up here in a second, and we will pull it outside, and it'll be going outside under its new own power. Yay! And then it needs a bath. She's dirty. Been sitting in here just getting worked on. Now let's open the door. Ah! Stepping on pipe. Close the hoods. Not even going to close all the way because we legitimately need to take the battery tender off. Going to need to open the hood to get to some of these bolts. And leave the pins up. Power locks work. your idle down. She's a little peppy. Let her idle for a second. Well, it's on the road with the dirty windshield. Speedometer working, tags working, fuel gauge works. Steering wheel isn't even close to centered. Alright, let's get her aligned. We've got her on the rack. Start doing some baseline testing. Well, the great part about this is he uses good old school gauges and different things as he's going, but then it's test drive it, see how it pulls, if it's moving, and center everything after the fact. I'm on my second or third test drive, and it's actually driving really great. I can let go of the wheel and pretty much stays right down the road. It has a tiny drift to the right, so we'll probably adjust the camber a little bit more and do a little bit more adjusting. She's got some nuts though. Get in it just a little bit. Wow. Now we'll go right up here on the left side. I'm on our final test drive with alignment man Jim. How we doing, Jim?
Hi there.
It is driving like it's perfect. No wheels, no hands. The blue line lines up with the dotted line. We're going right down the road. Got someone pulling out, so we'll make sure we stay in our lane. Jim is laying down under the car on the road. Going to give me just a millimeter more of the steering wheel to straighten up. He thinks it should go over just a tiny bit more. I don't even have the hood pins closed. You can see them sitting up there. I can say this thing's snotty. I just touched the throttle. It's got a lot of power. I'm very happy. Is he going to pop his head up? I don't see him. Oh, yep, other side. Little on the left, little on the right. Okay, we went just a little bit down the road. Oh, see the wheel turning. The wheel's moving. He went the wrong way. So now I just pulled over so he could make another adjustment. Gotta love it. We are back home. Thanks again to Jim. It was like, you know, back to very few people are just doing stuff anymore. If it's not, you know, computers and hooked up and the digital hooked up stuff for the cars. You know, he put it all by spec of what it was supposed to be, and then we drove it. Then he fine-tuned it, and he adjusted it, and then we adjusted it again, and we got it running super smooth and great down the road. I did lose my power steering cap, and it popped off out of a weird groan when I turned to the right, and it howls a little bit, and I made sure my pressure and supply is correct. I'm a little low on fluid, but that shouldn't be why it's making noise, so I hope I don't have a crappy rack. But other than that, very happy with it. We need to jack it up. I need to grease all the ball joints and grease everything, put cotter pins in everything. I told them not to even worry about that because I had all the cotter pins and stuff here, and I'm going to work on that. But very happy, driving great. I can barely see out that windshield, so I need to get that all fixed. And a little soapy and water. I was hoping this would take a couple hours, and it took the majority of a day. But it's now dialed in and it's right, so that's very, very cool. So I'm going to go eat some lunch since I haven't ate anything. Just noticed I'm showing the camera off to the hillside, so... then I'll take it for a little drive, come back, wash this up, dig through my power steering pump, see if I have a cap that might fit that, add some fluid, and maybe take my wife for a drive when she gets home from work. I was just thinking about it. This is this first wash in over 10 years. I'll wash the mud down. Maybe take it for a drive tonight. Also notice it doesn't say 6'1" Hemi anymore. Gotta find me some 392 logos. The wax is so good on that. Look how it's just beating off. I used to wax the shit out of it. So it should pretty much just hose right off. That's nice. Cool, that'll wash fast. Well, very exciting. Just got back from our little road trip. Washed it down, thought I'd take the wife for a ride. Literally wanted to only go a few blocks. We started going and she was like, let's go into town. So we ran into town. I started thinking about it. I didn't grab a fire extinguisher or anything. If something was rubbing or hitting or doing something that, you know, oopsies. And then I was kind of hot rodding around a little bit and realizing that I had never even torqued the wheels on. They were just kind of lightly buzzed on with a 3/8 gun on and off testing stuff. So we stopped at my shop in town and I torqued the wheels down. After we torqued the wheels down, we stopped and gave her some fuel, let her make sure the tank had enough in it, and pulled out on the road. And let's just say she does not disappoint. I could have tire smoke and the back end going for about almost a good half a block, and she sounds great. The exhaust dumps sound great. It runs like a monster. Little bit of a driveline vibration, so I think I've got some pinion angles and some degrees to work on some pinion angles. So I actually pulled it in to check it, and I went and just got my good old, carpenter's level, because you need to check it at ride height, jack it up on blocks, or put, it's the same 6x6s on front and back or whatever, or maybe put a level or a degree on your door, and then when you jack it up with the axles on a block, make sure you have it at the same level. And this is the height and the stance that I like for the final look of where the wheels are and where I have that front suspension. Oh, and by the way, this thing sits flat. Oh my God, when you just rock the wheel left, right, left, right, left, right, it handles amazing. But this, I think, is hilarious. That is level. I have this car sitting fucking level. You put that down underneath on the frame and it is just as level. Still need to kind of clean up some of the interior, but I'm going to jack it up, put it on blocks. I'm pretty sure my driveline is even more level, so that's why I have a little bit of a driveline vibration. If you don't have your joints just offset just a little bit, your needle bearings and things that way aren't happy. They're actually happier when they're offset. So she looks pretty. She's nice and clean. Still haven't put away any of my cleaning crap. But like I said, when I get this running, I'm going to rip the tires off of it. I didn't drive it for more than 10 minutes and I ripped the tires off of it. I put my foot to the floor, let the ass in wave, and I'm going to be doing a lot more of it. So thank you for everything. I hope everyone enjoys it. I got a little bit more to do. It's a long way from done, but oh, hell yeah, she runs and she rips, let me tell you.